So we're going to talk to you a little bit about what you're going to expect and what's going to happen next year, and then hopefully answer all of the questions that you have. If by the end of the night you still have a question that has not been answered, we will absolutely give you my email address, and you can email me, and I will make sure that it gets answered. Okay? Really looking forward to talking to you guys this evening and talking about what's going on here at Longfellow in the next year, and hopefully, easing any of your worries and anxieties about, coming into middle school, because, for a few of these fifth graders, it might be your very first kid that's going to middle school, and we definitely want to take care of them. And so hopefully by the end of the night, you feel like we're going to do that. So here we go. All right. Like I said, I am Mr. Sam Summers. I am the current head principal. So what we got next, we have a video for you to watch. It's the exact same video that we have shown to all four of the feeder schools. I know that some of you are coming from other schools, so we didn't actually get to visit them, but for the most part, most of your students have actually seen this video, pretty excited about it. So let's go ahead and take a look at this.
My favorite part about Longfellow is how everyone supports each other and how we really look out for everyone. We're kind of like a really big family here at Longfellow.
My favorite thing about Longfellow is definitely the staff and the students. I think we have an awesome student body, probably the best in Norman. I also really like the fellow teachers here. I think they're great and they do a really good job at what they do. In art class, we will do things like drawing, painting, and this next year we'll be doing clay. Welcome to Longfellow, and I'm really excited to get to know you.
Hi guys, I'm Dr. Bradshaw, and I'm the orchestra teacher here at Longfellow. My favorite thing about Longfellow is that we're a family. We take care of each other. Thanks so much, and I look forward to seeing you.
Hi, welcome to the band room. My name is Dr. Griffith, and it is nice that you are coming into Longfellow next year. I hope that you will maybe think about being in band. If you do, this will be one of the places that you stop by every day. One thing that I love about Longfellow, first of all, the students and, of course, my colleagues, the faculty. We're all one big happy family. It's a great place to be, and I can't wait for you to be here at Longfellow. See you next year. Bye-bye.
I'm Mr. Matthews. I teach 6th grade math. And my favorite thing about Longfellow is that all the teachers are always ready to help and answer your questions.
Hi, my name is Miss Tia. I'm the tech here at Longfellow. And my favorite thing about Longfellow is the team spirit.
What do I like most about Longfellow? Well, first of all, I love the students and I love the faculty that I work with. It's a great place to be. It's a wonderful environment and it's a family.
Where's Mrs. Hughes?
I'm right here. My favorite part of Longfellow is enrolling your smiling faces.
My favorite part about Longfellow is the way that all of the students work together. There's a place for everybody here at Longfellow. So, as long as students and everybody here has a place place to be, then I feel good about what we're doing.
My favorite part about Longfellow, well, I had the opportunity to go to every school in the entire district. So that's 17 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, and 2 high schools. And I can honestly say out of all the schools I've been to, we have the best quality students. So having that privilege to interact with students all over the district, I know without a doubt that I have the pleasure of coming to the best school every day and interacting with the best students in the entire district. That's my favorite part.
Just being around kids every day. I like doing that. Makes you feel young.
Good morning. I'm Mr. Walker. This is Gateway to Technology, where you will be in flight and space, automation, robotics, and design and modeling, depending on what grade you are in. Welcome to Longfellow.
I am Coach Solo. I teach PE here at Longfellow, and Longfellow is the best because of the great community between the students and staff.
Is it right?
Yeah.
Longfellow is the best school because we have the best students, we have the best teachers, and we have the best principals in the whole district. It's fantastic. You will love it.
And we have the best front office staff too.
Oh, stop. Just because we have the best staff and the best students ever.
Why is Longfellow the best school? Well, let me tell you why Longfellow is the best school. It's because we have the best staff, we have the best teachers, one and only best kids ever. Welcome to Longfellow.
Mr. Wilson, I teach 6th grade math here at Longfellow. This is my den class, and this is where you start your day at Longfellow. Longfellow is the best school because we always have so much fun learning. And look, we even have double stuffed Oreos.
Hello, I'm Mr. Kern. The best thing about Longfellow is all of these wonderful attitudes, right guys? Yeah, that's right.
I'm Mr. Gifford, and my favorite thing about Longfellow is you never know what you're going to get. Every day is an adventure, and we have a lot of fun.
Hey, 5th graders, I am Beth Huddleston. I am a language arts teacher here at Longfellow Middle School, and I love graphic novels, and I can't wait for you to come read with me. Bye, guys.
Hola, my name is Senor Z. I'm the Spanish teacher here at Longfellow. My favorite thing about Longfellow is the amazing students, teachers, and staff, and the community, the awesome community that it creates.
My name is Mr. Burris. I teach 6th grade social studies. I'd start studying your countries of South and Central America and be ready for a weekly math quiz.
Oh, hi! Hi, I'm Miss Rubik, and welcome to choir. So excited that you're here today. So guess what? I'll tell you this. This is why Longfellow is the best school. Because we have the best students, we have the best teachers. We're like one giant big happy family, and we can't wait for you to be part of us. We are so excited. Come to Longfellow! We're the best!
We have more fun around here than anybody, and we also get a lot of work done, and we also do a lot of learning. So very excited about that. I hope that was at least a small glimpse into what's going on here at Longfellow. I'll hit you with the next one. All right. So a lot of times here at Longfellow, we talk about doing things with pride, right? And my favorite thing was going to the elementaries, and I was like, why do you think that we say pride? And they're like, because lions are in a pride. And I'm like, that's exactly right, right? Lions are in a pride, right? So we always talk about doing everything that we do around here with pride. And pride stands for purpose, respect, integrity, dedication, and effort, right? That's what's expected of all of our students, and that's also what's expected of all of our adults and our teachers here. So as long as we're doing, everything that we're doing here at Longfellow with purpose, respect, integrity, dedication, and effort, we're going to be very successful. So really looking forward to that. The students were, we gave out some candy and some prizes and stuff that they could remember what pride stood for. So that was also a lot of fun. All right, so let's talk about what a typical day at Longfellow looks like. All right, if you only have a student in middle school, you're going to let them sleep in a little bit because school doesn't start until 8:35. However, they can be dropped off here at 8:10. We have breakfast at 8:10. right? So from 8:10 to 8:35, we got breakfast, and we also have, you know, outside places where students can go. We got different spots for 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. Our 6th graders are gonna go right out here in the courtyard, right where you walked in, you know, unless it's terrible weather, freezing cold, raining, snowing, all that stuff. Then our 6th graders are gonna come in here into the auditorium. But for the most part, we want to, you know, make sure that they're out there and they're hanging out and they're, you know, getting some of that energy out before the day begins. So school starts at 8:35. Right, we have 8 hours in the day. And when I was talking to the 5th graders at the elementary schools, they were like, "Oh my, we got to go to 8 different places." And I was like, "Well, yeah, but it's all right." So I said we have 8 hours during the day. However, not a single one of them actually lasts an hour, right? For the most part, they last 50 to 55 minutes, okay? We come here and our first hour is what we call din, right? And that was another thing they were excited about because they're like, "Oh, I know why it's called din because, you know, lions live in a den." And so they were excited about that. So din is like our homeroom. It's like home base. That's your spot where, you know, the kids feel comfortable. They have that person that they can go to. They can ask questions. They get all that housekeeping stuff. They get, you know, different kind of lessons. They have opportunities to go and get extra help with other teachers for their work. You know, if they're struggling in math or reading or whatever, they got an opportunity to go over there and see their teachers and take care of that stuff. So din is first hour, but din only lasts 35 minutes. So it's not really long. And then we got second hour, and we got third hour, and then we got fourth hour. And fourth hour for 6th graders is lunch. And everybody cheered when I was at the elementary schools. They were like, "Oh yeah, lunch, yeah." They're like, "That's my favorite class." Like, "Yeah, me too." I don't blame them. So we have, you know, 2 of those hours out of those 8 we got din and we got lunch. So technically din counts as a class and so does lunch. So we got 6 hours left. 4 of those hours are gonna be their core classes, which are gonna be language arts, math, social studies, science, and those things are gonna remain the same all year, right? They're gonna remain in those classes at the same time all year, okay? But then they got 2 more, we call those explos, right? And so it was also really exciting asking them what they think explo stands for, and they were like, "Oh, exploration," and all that stuff. Yeah, that's correct. It stands for exploratory classes. Well, to talk about our explo classes, I'm gonna go ahead and invite Miss Wheeler. Because apparently she knows a lot more than I do. I'm just kidding. She's fantastic.
Hey guys, I am Mrs. Wheeler, and I'm super excited to have you guys coming to Longfellow next year. Before I took this job, I was actually a Longfellow parent, and I'm a current Longfellow parent, and so I know what it's like to be both an employee here and a parent here, and I can tell you that this place is the best place to be. I have been so lucky to call this not just my work home, but also a home for my boys as we raise them to come through middle school. So anyway, you can move to the next slide. Mr. Summers went through what a schedule will look like. He explained how we have din, and we have lunch, and then we have the 4 core classes, like he mentioned. And then we do have 2 explo hours. And you go ahead and move to the next one. So our explo classes are what we call our exploratory classes. So as a 6th grader, we want to allow these students an opportunity to explore all of the electives that we have here at Longfellow. So in a perfect world, your student would be able to participate in each one of these courses so that whenever they come to be a 7th and 8th grader, they can let me know as their counselor what classes they enjoy more so that I can build a schedule based more on their preferences. But I will say this with a little bit of an asterisk. Your student may be musically inclined and want to participate in orchestra or band or year-round choir. So those classes are going to take up a whole year of explos. So instead of getting to try out 8 different classes because they change every 9 weeks, they would only get to do the band or orchestra and choir all year. And then changing every 9 weeks. So it's a little confusing once you think about it. So I'll explain it again. If your student is not interested in one of those musical fine arts classes, they will get to experience 8 different classes their 6th grade year. And some of those classes are, like we've got on the board, speech and drama, arts, facts, which stands for family and consumer sciences. You guys might be more familiar like it's called home ec. PE, foreign language, computers, and design and modeling, which that's kind of like a engineering, kind of gateway to technology type class. So those are the options that we have here at Longfellow. And like I said, if they are not interested in the band, orchestra, or year-long choir, they will have the opportunity to experience each of those. And if they are interested in one of those classes, then they will just have the one expo hour that changes every 9 weeks. And these classes are assigned randomly because the goal is to have them experience all of the classes that we offer, or at least what we can offer if they're not in a band, orchestra, or choir class. I hope that makes sense. It's a little confusing, and I think sometimes it prompts a lot of questions. So I am always here to answer those questions. Just like Mr. Summers said, I'm pretty much going to be your touch point here at Longfellow for the next 3 years. I just want you guys to realize like how much of a change is going to happen between now, your little kids leaving elementary school, and by the time they're ready to leave, we're sending them off to high school. And so much change and growth happens in these years, and it is I call it an honor to be able to walk through that with your child and with you, because I know it's a big deal. I've walked through it myself, and so I know it as a parent, and I know it as a counselor. So I'm your touchstone. We'll have a great little principal, and then each year, next year will be the 6th grade team, and then with each team, the support is there. You just need to reach out. So we're going to go to the next slide. A big event, I guess we'll say, for 6th graders is called Camp Turning Point. So we were not able to have this last year because of COVID, but we are bringing it back for 2021. So what this is the day before school starts, and I'm not really sure when does school start? August something.
August
19th. So Camp Turning Point would be the 18th? So August 18th, we will be having Camp Turning Point here at Longfellow. And what Camp Turning Point is a chance for 6th graders to come to Longfellow. Since we haven't been able to do tours or anything, we are having it this day just for them to come to Longfellow, to get familiar with their DEN class, because they're going to hang out with them all day long. They'll get to know their DEN teacher, play some fun games, some get-to-know-you activities, and then the DEN teacher will lead them on a tour through the building, so they'll get familiar with all of our different spaces, because we have a lot of buildings here at Longfellow. I'm not going to lie. It can be a little bit overwhelming for a lot of our 6th graders. So we'll get the tour, and then what we'll do is we'll turn on our bells, and they will get to run through a mock schedule. So we will have them go to their DEN class, and they will ring the bells, and they'll get to travel to their 1st hour. And then they'll see where they need to go, and then we'll ring the bell, and they'll go to 2nd hour. And we'll do that all the way through to 8th hour. So they will get to run through their whole schedule the day before school starts. And then after that, we're going to have pizza in the cafeteria. And after I announced that at the elementary schools, they all cheered. Everyone was so excited about the pizza. So, and then, like I told them, they will get a t-shirt. So I don't know if your students brought home a flyer that I gave them at the 5th grade visit. So if you did not, I put some out there on the PTA table. But get that, there's a little thing at the bottom to fill out. It actually got some blanks on there for you to indicate if they're going to be in band or orchestra, instrument they like. But there's also a place on there for you to put what size t-shirt they wear, because I'm going to be able to get them a t-shirt for Camp Turning Point. So if you get that, fill that out, you can hand it in to their elementary school teacher, and they will send that to me through the inter-school mail. So that is Camp Turning Point, and I think we're ready for the next slide. And I think it is Ms. Sarah Potts, our innovative learning coach.
I'm the innovative learning coach here at Longfellow. That means that I help teachers and students be more innovative and creative in their classrooms. And again, the pandemic, I'm really excited to get back in classrooms with students And so the two biggest kind of hot topics about middle school, or one specifically, will be MacBooks and cell phones. So next slide, please. So I'm going to talk about cell phones first, just a heads up, and again, this information is going to come to you again in August. We just want you to be prepared and start having those discussions with your kids now. We ask that students put away their cell phones during the instructional day unless a teacher gives them permission. There may be something that they can play on, like a Kahoot quiz game, academic related, that they can use a phone or their computer. But certainly families, we ask that you contact the office if there's a message that needs to be passed on, things like that. Our desire is that our students are focused on learning and their academic success. So there may be consequences, with cell phones if it becomes a distraction. So it's just a conversation to start talking with your kid about appropriate use at school. But more importantly, I also am a parent of an incoming 5th grader or 6th grader, and so I have questions as well. Even working here, it's okay, what am I going to do to prepare my child to be at our school? Most of you know that your student will receive a MacBook. That's part of our one-to-one initiative in our district. 6th through 12th grade get a MacBook. There will be a protection plan offered. Again, that'll be in August. Don't worry about that now. Certainly, it is $50 for the year to have protection. I think it's a great thing to talk about now and think about how we can budget that if you choose, or if you are a free and reduced family or have 3 or more students in middle school or high school, there's a reduction in that kind of insurance plan. So just something to talk about. But we're giving this device to our students, and so sometimes that makes parents a little anxious, but please know that we will be giving digital citizenship curriculum so that they are aware of appropriate etiquette online, that we are teaching them about their digital footprint and how it impacts their future, cyberbullying and social media proper use, things like that. So we aren't just giving it to kids and expecting them, hoping that middle school brains are developed enough to use it properly. We are preparing them for that usage. Our hope with these MacBooks is that the purpose is that it enhances learning and gives access to materials that otherwise we wouldn't have access to. Do not worry, we have filters on the devices no matter what network you are on, and they are monitored for inappropriate language and things like that. So we are taking care of your kids with this. But again, your student will have this at home. They will bring it to school every day charged. And so that is an opportunity for you to have a family discussion. Most of us, I think, already have our kids on some sort of tech, or they get to play on an iPad here and there or whatever at home. Some do. So you may already have some boundaries, some guidelines, some expectations for your students about their technology use at home. But now is an opportunity to have another conversation. We don't want this just to be a free-for-all, play games all the time. Again, the ideal use is for academic use. So we strongly encourage that you start talking with your family about those, or continuing a conversation that you already have in your home. Establish some rules that work for your household. We would consider talking about where the device is charged. It's a good practice to not have it in the bedroom all night long. Have it charged near the entryway or in the kitchen so that our kids' hands aren't always on the technology. And just again, talking to them, have some guidelines about appropriate activities for when they are at home. And even I encourage you to practice scenarios with your students, how to respond appropriately when someone says something mean, or that another friend is asking them to play hours and hours of games, and set up those guidelines for your families. So we are here to help you and support you in that, and we want the MacBooks and cell phones to be a safe thing on our campus and at home. So if you have any questions, again, we will go over this more of those questions, we will probably address them then. Next. So when will they get this MacBook? On August 4th and 5th, there will be, and again, communication will go out to you ahead of time. We will split up by alphabet, that certain parts of the day, certain people, you know, with your last name will come during these time slots to get the MacBook. So we will send that out. If you want to take a screenshot or, you know, take a picture of this slide up here, that may help you. And then August 10th is that parent night that I'm talking about again. We'll go over some of these things that we've talked about tonight. And then if you are unable to make it in person the evening of the 10th, we will have a virtual link, and that will be Norman Public Schools, middle school, 6th grade parent night at noon. So again, that information will come out through the principal newsletter that you'll start getting later on this year. And next. So what do you do now? How do you prepare your kid? Again, talk about those things, have those conversations, let it be a narrative that lasts their entire middle school and high school career about how we should use devices in school and out of school. And also, we are a Canvas district for K through 12. That's our learning management system. And that just means that students will be on there to get instructions sometimes, to access their assignments, to turn in their assignments. And so just something to think about now is you can download the app on your mobile devices for the parent, and then eventually in August, we're gonna give you information on how to connect so that you can be an integral part of their success on that learning management system. All right, and next we have Jennifer McDaniel, the PTA president.
Thank you so much. As she said, my name is Jennifer McDaniel, and I'm the incoming 2021-2022 PTA president here at Longfellow. So I'm going to pitch it to you a little bit, but I also kind of want to piggyback on what all these people up here have said. I know you're thinking probably, as I did, they're kind of getting paid, so they should tell you how great Longfellow is, but I'm going to tell you that I have my 4th and final baby coming through Longfellow this year. And Miss Wheeler loves McDaniel so much that she just decided to just keep going. And so one that's leaving my 8, so she said, well, I'll go back to 6. And Miss Huddleston has actually taught 3 of the 4 McDaniel children. So McDaniels are pretty intense about our feelings towards Longfellow. So it is scary for those of you who this is your first baby at middle school. It is a little terrifying. But when they tell you that they love your kid and that they are community, I'm gonna start crying. They're not just saying that. I have a story that I love to tell about Jill Johnson, who's not here tonight, so she can't argue with me about how the story goes. But we were sitting at a meeting about my child, and there was just kind of a little issue, not a big deal. And I made a comment that if my child was ever disrespectful, and her head whipped around, and she looked at me and said, "Your child would never do that." And at that moment, I realized that these teachers are willing to fight me to defend my kid. And that was such a beautiful feeling. And I will tell you that they have all done that. I've had ones that have called me and said, "Hey, I know that your child had a rough day today. How's she doing now? What can we do? What do you need?" And so they really are not just saying those things. They really do love what they do, and they love the kids here. So listen to them when they say that. So a way for you to establish and build those relationships is by joining the PTA. And PTA is a way, I always tell my kids that this is going to be my last year to get to do PTA, actually my last 3 years, because my high schooler has informed me now that it's not okay anymore for me to be in the building. So I'm going to respect that, and that's not very easy for me. So PTA is really an opportunity. What we do in middle school is a lot different than what we did in elementary school. We really are here to support these teachers in the best way that we possibly can, especially this year. We kind of lived through this little thing called the pandemic, and they have all just been incredible and flexible and bent over backwards to make sure that we had what we needed. And as the members of this organization, we want to support that, and we want to give them whatever they need. Next slide, please.
Do you have anything else that you want to say?
Sam Summers was supposed to have a slide for me. Okay, he doesn't. That's okay. Oh yeah, go back to that one. do that summers. So what we do is we do support the teachers. Like I said, we do Teacher Appreciation Week. We don't have like jog-a-thon fundraisers here. We do what's called Pride Wars. And they all go against their dens, and we have a huge day of just super fun activities for the kids.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. This was the first year it was really fun.
Like the best.
Yeah. Even the 8th graders who thought they were too cool tried to skip out. Really not.
Stand by for a video of me just getting annihilated by water.
Yes, it's super fun, and he actually has bruises from some of them. So that we do that. But as you guys saw when you came in tonight, we have a sign-up table out there. It is not a commitment to be in the PTA. I know everyone is terrified of that, okay? One of the things that I'm really wanting to do this year is that the board currently, we do have a couple of open positions, but we are actually opening up 4 new positions. One of the things that I noticed about the board this year is that it is really, really, well, it's only Jefferson PTA parents. And while that's awesome, because Jefferson does have the best parents, we do not want to be exclusive like that. We don't want people to look at us and say, oh, there's PTA, I can't do that because A, B, C, or D. I am a full-time working mom. I have 4 kids. I get it. We're busy. If you want to participate, if you want to, anything you want to be able to do, I will make an opportunity for you, okay? There are more opportunities, not necessarily for volunteer time, but a lot of volunteering your resources. Things like dropping off snacks, things like dropping off food for teacher appreciation, for teacher meals. I know you guys love food. We actually, this year, our Teacher Appreciation Week was actually talked about across the district because it was so impressive. So another thing that we do that I think is really super important is that we provide things for the health assistant and the counselors for some of our children who might need a little additional things. Hygiene items, snacks to eat during the day, that's super important, I think, for those kids. So we're opening up 4 positions. Like I said, we are really wanting a representative from each one of our feeder schools. So you can come to us and say, hey, this is what we did at Eisenhower and this really worked, or hey, we did this at Eisenhower and this didn't work. We really want more representation across the board, okay? So we do have a couple open, like, what's the word, officer positions. But more importantly, we just want you to sign up so that you can support the teachers financially, but you can also get information, because once your kids get in 6th grade, they're super cool and you are not cool at all, and so they're not ever going to tell you anything, but I promise that I will make sure that you're super informed, and I will make sure that every opportunity you have to come into the building and embarrass your child, I am all on it, okay? So, like I said, my name is Jennifer McDaniel. I do work for the district, so my email is Jennifer M, as in Mary, and the number 4. You can reach out to me, and you can call the front office, and they know how to reach me also. So I will be available after tonight, and if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to stop and ask.
All right, so just to piggyback on some of those things, like it is not lost on me that it has been a very hard year. It's been a very hard year for our students. It's been a very hard year on our parents. It's been a very hard year on our teachers. It's been particularly hard at Longfellow for various, due to certain circumstances. But like Ms. McDaniel said, there's absolutely no group of people in the world that will care and love your students more than the people here at home. So I really want to reiterate that. I want you to know that they have gone so far above and beyond to take care of our students this year, and will absolutely continue to do that. And they've taken care of me this year, honestly. I mean, it's been hard, but we're making it. If you told me in September that we were going to be here at end of May and we're doing our 5th grade parent night, I'd be like, yeah, right. But here we are, and we're excited, and we can't wait for it to happen. So we want to make sure that all of our incoming 6th graders are taken care of, and they're feeling safe, and they're feeling comfortable about being here. When do we get to choose their specials? That might be or their expos. That might be a question for Ms. Ritter.
Sure, so like I explained earlier, the only choices that sixth graders get to make is if they want to be in band, orchestra, or all-year choir. Those are the only choices that they can make as a sixth grader. Everything else will be assigned randomly, depending on where they fall in the schedule. Whenever they enter the 7th and 8th grade, I will communicate with them through a Google form or however else we want to do it for them to rank the expos. So say in 6th grade, they took design and modeling and they loved it. And so that's going to be their number one choice for 7th grade. So I will work that into their schedule as a 7th grader. But as a 6th grader, everything is random, minus the fine arts classes. Those can be chosen. So if you want to choose that class, make sure that is communicated to me sometime before August. And even if it's after August, I can do a schedule change because I am the puppet master of schedules.
Next one says, what time can children enter the building? Can you also discuss before and after school procedures? I kind of touched on this a little bit. So the ultimate plan is that our students are entering the building at 8:10. They are coming in and they're eating breakfast, but here's the deal. You know, one of us is typically here 7:30, 7:45. If it's pouring rain, I'm not gonna sit out there and just make your kids sit out there till 8:10, I swear, okay? But you know, the plan is that everyone enters the building at 8:10. They go to their, you know, differentiated spots for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. They go eat breakfast. They go back to where they're supposed to be. But you know, I promise you, we're going to take care of it. So, and then school is over at 3:40. So we do kind of a staggered dismissal. We let walkers go. They walk home. Then we let our car riders go. They go out. Car riders typically get picked up out here in front of the courtyard. Not a ton of places to park. I'll be honest with you. I mean, ask anybody on the stage. You got to get here early to get a spot. You know, it's like fight to the death out here trying to get a parking spot. But, so you know, car riders get let out there, and then we have a bus oval that's down here toward the gym. What way is that? North? Northish? Yeah. So it's on the north side over there. It's kind of by the softball field. We got the bus oval, and then we let bus riders go out as the buses arrive, and more or less, typically everyone's out of here by 4 o'clock, 4:05. So that's the ultimate goal. But school is technically over at 3:40. School begins at 8:35. So, and kids can get to school at 8:10 and start to eat breakfast. Okay, so you got any more questions about that, you can email me. It says, what about pertinent bus information for our child? My guess is that you will receive bus information probably in August, because you know, I don't think they have those things all planned out right now, because typically our bus numbers change. The routes more or less don't change, so there's, you know, more or less kind of the same area where everyone's getting on the bus and stuff like that. So we should know, and everyone should get a bus pass, I would say, in August.
It's right after like enrollment confirmation.
So right after confirmation of enrollment. So sports, there's a few questions here about sports. There are a few sports that 6th graders can participate in. They can do we got some 6th graders that play softball. They can do cross country. They can do track. Mr. Wilson over here can be a cross country guy, right? What else? Wrestling. Yes, they can also wrestle. There's a few other things that, you know, there are some stuff that 6th graders want to get involved in, like basketball and football. They can't necessarily be on the team while in 6th grade, but if you got a kid that's super interested in basketball, or you know, really into football or whatever, like, there's a good chance they come talk to me. We can talk to Coach Mormon, and we can probably get them in some sort of, you know, manager role or something like that. You know, just come talk to me, and we'll do whatever we can to work it out. But you know, as far as being actually on the team for football and basketball, we don't really do 6th graders there. I think we have some 6th graders that play volleyball. Yeah, so they can also do some volleyball. So there are some good opportunities there. So you know, more information will be coming out, and I'm going to ask, you know, the coaches to reach out to all the different elementary schools and kind of give you a little more information on what's going on. This one says, can you talk about the structure of the student body such as the sixth graders in their own area or some classes mixed grade? So we don't have any classes where sixth graders are going to be in class with seventh grade graders. Okay? Maybe seventh grader. If you had a sixth grader that's taken an advanced math class, that might be a little bit different. But for the most part, so this hall right up here, right when we walked in, it's the only hallway here that has an upstairs. That is where most of our sixth grade core classes take place. Right? We call it Boyd Hall. And so we got sixth grade ELA, sixth grade math, and sixth grade social studies out here. We have a science hall over here where all 3 grades of science are, because the classrooms are set up for science. So they'll be out there, but for the most part, all 6th graders are going to be here in this hallway or upstairs for their core class. Thinking about band. Would you like to talk a little bit about band, Dr. G?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Don't be shy.
Okay, if your student is interested in band, he or she can sign up. We have already gone out to the elementary schools and done our demonstration, and I have given every student an opportunity to give me their information. If they said that they were interested in band, they checked yes. I have that information, and I'm going to be sending out over the summer a letter to each student and a letter to each parent, guardian. That information will be sent out to you, and it's going to invite you to what we call an instrument fair. That's going to happen during enrollment time. It will be done in a friendly COVID manner, so everything will be sterilized. There will be most likely sign-up times. We will once again take things as we'll see how things are going, if you know what I'm saying, because everything is progressing and things are changing daily with the way that COVID is going. So we will see how that is progressing, and we'll keep everything as safe as we possibly can. And anyway, but that's going to happen around the enrollment time. So your student will sign up. You can be there as well. You will sign up, and they will actually get to try the instrument out. At that time, they will choose what instrument they wish to play, and then we can sign them up. Okay? And if they're still kind of on the cusp of, oh, I don't know if I might like flute or maybe trombone, then I will say, take it home, talk about it with your family, email me and let me know. And then we will let the counselor know as soon as you make that decision. Okay? So also, basically, be looking for a letter from me. Also, Mr. Nunn, who is our band coordinator, he will also send out a district-wide letter to touch base with people that the student might have been absent, or maybe they didn't check yes that they were interested, and that's going to touch base with those students that I didn't get the information from. So be looking for some information throughout the summer from either myself or a district-wide information from Mr. Nunn, and it will have something in there saying, hey, be on the lookout, it's going to happen around enrollment time. Actually, orchestra, if your child was in orchestra in 5th grade, they will continue to be in orchestra. All they have to do is sign up. And are you going to offer a beginning group as well? So orchestra will also offer a beginning orchestra for 6th grade this coming year as well. So
what can we expect as far as communication goes? My hope is that you'll be absolutely sick of me, because I'll probably be emailing you a lot. I send a newsletter out every week, and one of my expectations is that, the teachers keep in close contact with you about everything that's going on. There should not be any secrets about what's going on here at Longfellow. So excited to meet your incoming 6th graders and give them the time of their life here in middle school. So really looking forward to it. Like I said, I'll stick around here and I'll answer any questions that y'all have. And you guys have a great evening. All right, we'll see you later.